Hello, my name is Eugene Mironer. I'm the CEO and the president of MetaPharm company. Our company is working on development drug for painful diabetic neuropathy called Novomet. Diabetic peripheral neuropathy is a very widely spread disease affecting more than 15 million people in the United States. However, it is rather poorly managed, creating a high unmet need. Opioids, which are considered not very effective in neuropathic pain, are nevertheless the treatment of choice for this condition. The three choices currently approved for treatment of diabetic peripheral neuropathy are an antidepressant duloxetine, an anticonvulsant pregabalin, and an opioid Nucynta. Unfortunately, these drugs not only often produce problematic side effects, but also really effective in only 1 out of 7 patients, creating an unmet need. We opted for a completely different approach. Our drug Novomet is a 3-to-1 mixture of 2 methadone isomers, D and L. Novomet works on multiple receptors. It is an NMDA receptor antagonist, an opioid receptor agonist, and works as a reuptake inhibitor for norepinephrine and serotonin. This way, Novomet works on majority of known targets for neuropathic pain and hits the highest number of receptors in ascending and descending pain pathways. Novomet is not equivalent to methadone, the racemic mixture of 2 isomers. The most important points stressing this difference are the following. Novomet blocks development of tolerance to an opioid portion of the drug, while methadone does not, which is extremely important. Plus, despite half the amount of opioid in Novomet versus methadone, it has been shown to be 3 times more effective in reducing diabetic peripheral neuropathy pain than methadone. In our phase 2 study, we followed approved by FDA 505(b)(2) pathway and evaluated efficacy and safety of 3 different doses of Novomet in placebo-adjusted response in adult patients with moderate to severe pain from diabetic peripheral neuropathy. In our study, we had 2 parts. One consisted of 12 weeks double-blind placebo-controlled part, and the other was 6 weeks open-label titration part. We followed all the standard measurement of efficacy and safety in similar studies. As you can see from this slide, there was a strong analgesic efficacy across all doses of Novomet. It was statistically significant for average daily pain score, even at the lowest dose of 15 milligrams a day. Same results were observed for the worst daily pain score as well. In an open titration phase, we clearly observed dose-dependent reduction in pain scores. In conclusion of the phase 2 results, we not only received significant pain reduction, but also observed impressive safety profile for our drug. We had an end of phase 2 communications with FDA, and as a result, received a clear path forward with defined necessary studies. The 505(b)(2) pathway was reconfirmed by FDA. I want again to show the favorable for us current competitive landscape in treatment of painful diabetic peripheral neuropathy. The pipeline new drugs, with no exceptions, are either reformulations of existing medications or a very high-risk targets with no confirmed efficacy and tolerability via phase 2 studies. Novomet, in our small data from phase 2 study, showed much higher potential than currently existing drugs in efficacy and ability to use smaller doses for treatment of diabetic neuropathy pain. Market outlook in treatment of diabetic peripheral neuropathy is very favorable, with high expenditures and continuous growth of number of cases. This results in high valuation of drugs for this indication. Future market entry for Novomed looks rather optimistic based on the results of phase 2 study, high unmet need, a solid IP portfolio, and follow-on possibilities. Novomed is protected by 2 US patents, one of which extends all the way till 2035. In summary, we are presenting a new drug for treatment of painful diabetic peripheral neuropathy with impressive phase 2 results, high probability of successful development, and a strong commercial appeal. Thank you very much for your attention.